To Mr. Njundu Fati. He's the newly elected president of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and he's here to discuss his vision and especially his Hexa Pro agenda. You spoke about, bringing in SMEs. How will you ensure that they feel tangible value from membership? When you go to bring them on, what will you promise them?
So, as I said, SMEs are major contributors for our development, but they are very informal. When it comes to registration of their businesses, there is a lot of work that needs to be done. Again, to some extent, it is government. In other countries, you can do business registration and a lot of other things online. In the Gambia, you have to go to, I think there are only two places, Canifing and Aegis Chamber. So we need to create an environment where these informal businesses can formalize their businesses. We have to provide a lot of training opportunities for them because they need to identify the business is separate from their personality. They need to have knowledge in terms of proper accounting. We can always create forum for networking. Yeah, we can create linkages between, for example, SMEs in the Gambia and their suppliers abroad in terms of creating opportunities for them to attend trade fairs and other opportunities. So there is a lot of things that we can offer the SMEs so that they will feel that we are not just talking, but we also add value to.
Earlier on, we spoke about GRA. One of the reasons or excuses I've heard people give for not registering their businesses is that once you register, you are inviting the taxman. So they feel that registration means you're telling government, oh yeah, come to me and get taxes, from me. And as we say, nobody likes to pay taxes, even though that is one thing you cannot help doing, paying your taxes. So the question is, how can we educate people, to take them away from this mindset that once you register, then now you will start paying taxes. Once you are not registered, you can, avoid the taxman.
So it takes a process. We need to do a lot of sensitization and education. Businesses also should realize that paying taxes is an obligation. Because especially for a country like the Gambia, we have no resource base. The government ought to provide education for our youths, our children. They need to provide healthcare facility. They need to support our farmers, etc., etc.
They need to fix NAVEX problems.
They need to fix NAVEX problem. Our roads are bad. So they have a lot of obligation to do. So they need resources. So the citizens and the residents have an obligation to pay taxes. However, those rates has to be reasonable. And it must be spread across a wider scope and not focus on only the big ones. The corporates, for example, the rate is 27% of your profit or, 2% or 1% of your turnover. Yeah. So it doesn't really matter whether you make loss or profit, you have to pay taxes. Yeah. Yeah. And the other thing is, it's a tough topic, but government must be held accountable. Corruption should be reduced. Hot topic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Sensitive?
But these days,
we need to discuss.
We're talking openly about it.
If, for example, the citizens feel that the taxes they are paying to government is not being properly accounted for, there is rampant corruption. Even myself, Peter, I will not be willing to pay the right taxes. It is the fact. It is human. Yeah. So government need to ensure that it really tries to cope corruption and make sure that the resources that belongs to all of us are directed to the right channel. Then people will feel, in fact, if that is done, you don't pay your taxes, you are a criminal. For lack of a better word. So government has a role to play to make sure that people pay their taxes. GRA, as I said, they can collaborate with GCCI to make sure that we sensitize, we train and educate our members on tax compliance.
Can you share any plans on improving governance and transparency, in the GCCI setup? You spoke about financial sustainability, that we know what you plan to do about that. But governance and transparency.
So luckily, I have been the treasurer of the chamber for the past 6 years under IDMAS. And what we have done over the years is to institutionalize the chamber, to make sure that the chamber has the necessary instruments and policies, procedures that like the finance policy, the HR policy, the procurement policy, etc., etc. And these are good governance documents that will help to promote transparency and also will promote and ensure accountability. So those are some of the things we have done. And under my leadership, as I said, it is going to be a continuity, and we are going to ensure that the oversight function of the chamber, of the board of directors, is really being done in a very proper and transparent manner. So during my presentation at the AGM, I have said it there that that is the team Njundu, believes in transparency in terms of our finances. We need accountability, that people who are entrusted with public funds must be held accountable on how they spend and expend those public funds.
You just mentioned Team Njundu. Because,
I don't want to.
because there was a Team Saul.
Yes.
Now that you've won, what will you do to unite everybody behind your vision?
So if you, I don't know whether you have seen my Facebook post.
Oh, no, I'm not on Facebook, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. So I have to really commend Saul Fraser personally, and this is a personal.
He's a big fan. He's listening.
Respect
right now.
from me to him, that we had a strong campaign, and he publicly declared that the results did not go his way. Even before he walked out, we embraced each other. So today, as we are speaking, there is no Team Njundu. There is no Team Saul. What we have indeed is the private sector of the Gambia. Our responsibility is to unite and work together. And certainly, Saul is one of the major players in our private sector. Global Property is a household name. So we will need his support, we will need his expertise, and I have no doubt that he will be forthcoming.
Earlier on, you made reference to the numerous chambers that we have locally. But looking, outwards, are there plans to establish new partnerships with fellow chambers in Africa that the GCCI does not have any partnership with at the moment and beyond?
That is important. During the OIC Business Forum, the OIC conference, I signed an MOU on behalf of the president between
which president? GCCI president?
GCCI president. I mean, Eddie Job. I would say former president. I'm the president now. He is former president. Yeah, on behalf of former president.
Yeah. When you talk about GCCI and president,
no,
to Adam Abaro.
No confusion. On behalf of the former president of GCCI, Eddie Mas Job, and the Morocco Casablanca Chamber of Commerce. And of course, we hope to sign more such MOUs with Beijing, for example. Qatar, I know there is an existing MOU with those people. Turkey is one of the major trade partners with the Gambia. So we need to see Ankara or Istanbul, maybe, see what sort of partnership we can have with those people. Of course, Dakar, Senegal as well. These are major trading partners. So we need to have that high level of partnership and collaboration with them.
Okay. So for now, we are just looking inwards. Everything about the GCCI is home-based.
No.
Apart from maybe one or two, Morocco, Casablanca, you said?
Yeah. I mentioned a couple. Yeah.
Okay.
I think also we have a partnership with Bissau.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will review.
And how will such partnerships benefit the Gambian business community, private sector in general?
So you look at we have to be very strategic with this partnership.
Yeah,
Which
not
countries
like we are doing with some embassies. People are saying some of our embassies really have no need being there where they are. Yeah.
So we have to be very strategic with this partnership. We need to identify the countries and cities which currently have strong business partnership with.
Oh, China would be.
China would certainly
Turkey
be.
Would
Turkey
be.
certainly would be. Senegal certainly would be. Guinea-Bissau certainly would be.
Guinea-Bissau?
There's a lot of transit trade between Gambia and Guinea-Bissau.
It's flowing out of us into them.
Into them.
Okay.
Yeah. So we need to capitalize on that relationship. Then apart from that, also we need to know which other countries are growing fast and have the potential to become major players in the next 5 years. For example,
there was a time when I heard Vietnam, like. Were we not getting was oil not getting cement from that area?
Vietnam, I'm not sure, but I think India also has a lot of potential.
Yeah.
India is a growing market.
Yes,
Yeah, so those are some of the countries and places we need to look at. Yeah.
Okay. Why does a country need a chamber of commerce? The Gambia, for instance, what is the GCCI doing for the economy in general? Not just, individual members, Salam, Financial, or whatever, West Coast Radio, but the Gambian economy.
GCCI is the mouthpiece of the business community. And as I said, sometimes we do a lot of things in the background,
Yeah, bring them to the fore.
Last year or 2 years ago, there were some issues with the Transporters Association. GCCI actually tried, in fact, brokered that piece. Alaji Cherno, he is the director representing traders and importers, and he led that negotiation with the Transport Association to make sure that the strike they intended to have never go through. That is one example. Yeah. Apart from that, also, I remember there was a time when the oil marketing companies also wanted to go on a strike. GCCI played a lot of role, in the background. Apart from that, we also do a lot of training of businesses, entrepreneurs. So these are a lot of things.
Mainly in what area? Because there's one particular area that is very scary, especially for startups. Business proposal.
Business, yeah. So that is an area we also need to. In fact, as part of my manifesto, one of my directors, David Jeng, is an expert when it comes to training, business proposal development.
I think the way he celebrated your victory, I don't think anybody will ever celebrate any victory
He
like that ever again.
He is King David.
Goodness
King
me.
David.
It's like he put his whole soul and heart into this. If Njundu had not won, we might not have a David Jeng today.
Yeah. So David is an expert when it comes to
business proposal writing,
training in entrepreneurship, etc. That is his specialty, and in our discussion, this is one of the areas that he is going to greatly focus on. Yeah.
Okay. I am told you've built businesses that employ today, upwards of 200 people. How has that journey shaped your understanding of the challenges that face the business community in general?
Entrepreneurship is not an easy thing. Sometimes people will see when you are grown,
Yeah, when you start reaping the benefits.
Exactly. But lot of hard work, lot of challenges you go through. Even coming up with the concept, the right concept, is not an easy thing. Yeah, managing people, mobilizing those people to follow your dream and achieve your vision is the most complicated. When you have a staff force of 100 people, 150, 200, ensuring that they also have the same vision like you is a major challenge. And also another challenge is the capacity of the skills of our youth. You know, there is massive disparity between the quality, the skills of the skills of the people our institutions are producing and what is actually required by the industry.
Okay.
There is generally a mismatch. So sometimes you want to recruit an officer, for example, an
So they
accountant.
don't come out with skills and qualifications that are industry relevant, if you like. I have that problem all the time. People come here, you know, they apply for reporter, they come in here, all right, they give me their first report, I start running lines, and it's like, you know, it's
a challenge. It's a challenge, yeah. And that is why I said when I was talking about employer representation, we need to develop specific industry tailor-made custom programs that will cater for what the industry requires. Mm-hmm. If you take, for example, in your field,
yes,
yeah, when it comes to report writing, you need to understand your target. What message are you trying to send?
True.
How long would the message even be? So the people who are coming out of our institutions, are they that ready? I am not sure. Sometimes you interview people for positions,
yeah.
You feel that I don't want to go there.
They don't understand what we employers
we do
go through.
I remember when we started Supersonics, that's about 10 years ago, 2015, they bring their memo, you know. I will scribble everything and go back and write.
Well, now...
What are you trying to communicate?
Now they have ChatGPT to do their writing for them. They send you an application. It's so good. You say, oh, no, that's the guy I'm looking for. All right. You put them in front of you. You say, well, write this. Oh, they're struggling.
Yeah. So,
So we should be employing computers rather than humans.
Rather than people. But we need people.
Of course.
People have emotions. People live. People...
Well, only people are unemployed. And then you have, you know, unemployment crisis. Everybody descends on the streets and start, you know, protesting.
Yeah.
We don't want that. But these people also should go and, you know, equip themselves, you know.
So it's a national concern. And I think the Ministry of Tertiary Education, if there is one ministry I love, is the Ministry of Tertiary Education.
Everybody seems to do.
Yes.
Bless him.
I think he's
Professor Pierre Gomez.
I think he's doing a good job.
You served 2 terms, as you said, as treasurer.
Yeah.
How has this experience helped you now as president of the chamber?
So I understand the chamber very well in terms of their current financial position, the journey over the past 6 years. And I think it also prepares me to have a broader vision of how, in my own opinion, and on the basis of the Hexapro, what the chamber ought to do and the journey it needs to take in the future.
Okay. We are part of ECOWAS. We talk about markets. ECOWAS is a huge market, all right? Having access to the ECOWAS market is having access to Nigeria's 200 million, plus people. Right? I don't know whether that's the official, figure of Nigeria. How do you intend to make Gambia benefit from all these, benefit more? We are already benefiting, but benefit more from ECOWAS trade protocols.
So what?
Do you even understand these protocols in the first place?
Well, broadly, yes. Okay. As a businessman,
yeah.
Broadly, yes. So what we need is, one, we cannot stop talking to government. We have to keep talking to them. The Gambia must be properly integrated into the region. Relationship with Senegal, relationship with ECOWAS. That's number one. Number two, we need to make the Gambian country more competitive. Our port infrastructure, for example, our taxations, for example, ease to do business. These are all factors that will make our country more competitive. And unless we are competitive, we cannot be giant players in the region.
Can the port be competitive given what is happening next door in Senegal?
Do you think the port was once competitive?
Yes.
So we can.
During Jawara days?
It was. So we can. We lost the glory.
Yes.
But maybe we need to go back and learn lessons, see what other countries are doing, learn from best practices, and get ready to face the truth. And nothing but the truth. Yeah. Then also, we need to make our Gambian products, especially the agribusiness, they need to be more competitive, more qualitative. And we need to respect certain ISO standards if we want to play in the international market. I am so the standard, what's the name of it?
Standard Bureau.
Standard Bureau.
Yeah.
I know they are doing a good job. So maybe we need to link them up greater. They also need to be more, we need to build stronger partnership.
Yeah, but the standards they devise for us, are they not local? Are these standards, international in nature?
They could be benchmarked with international standards.
Okay.
And if we want to go international, we must make sure that the standards that we observe are also international.
Okay.
So those are some of the things, in my opinion, I think.
That's ECOWAS. What about AFCFTA?
AFCFTA is similar. ECOWAS is subcontinental. AFCFTA is continental Africa. So if we are able to strengthen our economy, make it more competitive in ECOWAS, certainly in the whole region. And of course, we cannot forget about technology as well. Yeah?
Okay.
We need to integrate technology.
We'll come to that because that's your play area. All right. That's your playground. And you can't talk about trade at whatever level without talking about a certain Mr. Trump in the White House. AGOA. I mean, how has Trump's policies affected AGOA and Gambia's access to AGOA?
So Trump's policy is America first. Yeah, and
and Gambia last.
Gambia last. Gambia last. And you remember the Liberation Day, when he came out with the trade.
With that board,
Exactly. So those policies certainly affected the entire world, including the Gambia, and it has affected our exports to America. I am not sure how much percentage of our export goes to America, but I think sometimes, I'm a data guy, so I love looking at data. We need to look at where our exports go most. Can we create more partnership, relationship?
Yeah, we talk about South-South
cooperation. Cooperation within ECOWAS countries. Will that not be able to flip any impact that the Trump policy is having on our country? And of course, sometimes you look at it, you don't blame Trump. He's the president of America, so it has to be America first.
That's his argument.
So
he was not elected by Gambians or Senegalese or Mongolians. He was elected by Americans. So America first.
So our government also should have a Gambia first, West Africa first, ECOWAS first policy.
Fantastic. I think we have about 5 minutes. What principles guide your leadership, and how do you balance member interest with the overall national development? I'm sure you hear a lot about this national development plan.
Yes. Yeah. So I believe in listening. Talk less, listen more to your members. Engage more. Understand people's concern. Yeah, you have to be strategic about everything you do. Again, accountability, transparency is very, very, very important. So I believe that the chamber has to really be responsive to what the dynamics that our private sector is facing. Yeah.
And how do you, well, you have 3 years initially, it could be 6. It could be,
It could be.
Yeah. So how do you envision the GCCI evolving in your first 3 years, for instance?
So I believe that by 2028, the membership of GCCI will substantially increase.
Where does it stand now? 1,000?
Right now, it's less than 1,000.
Less than 1,000?
Less than 1,000, about 800 or so. So if we can have at least a 50% increase on that.
1,200 in the next?
Minimum.
Okay.
Yeah, minimum. And in fact, I think we should target at least a 100% increase. It is possible because there are so many businesses here.
Yeah.
SMEs. And some of those businesses, if I tell you their turnover, it is in excess of $50, $100 million. And they are not part of the chamber.
Seriously?
Seriously. I'm coming from a banking background, so I know a lot.
The government is losing out a lot.
A lot. But again, it is the...
So they should make registration easier?
They should make it easier. They need to reduce the rate as well.
Easier and cheaper.
And cheaper. Then people will be encouraged. And accountability also. Government must be accountable. If we see that they are spending our money on SUVs, for example,
which they are doing.
For example, and everywhere you go, you see government GG vehicles driving up and down. I am having a vehicle. I don't go out much. I spend something like $13,000, $14,000 on fuel every month.
Well, I am lucky if my vehicle, carries me from the house without problems along the way.
Yeah. So government.
It's an old rickety car.
So government must really make sure that government itself is accountable to itself and to the people. Corruption is to a great extent controlled, and resources are optimally directed to areas where they are mostly deserved. Health sector, education, communication, roads, etc., etc. Then people will feel that they have an obligation to pay taxes.
Fantastic.
Otherwise, Peter, I don't know.
Well, you will know, because that's why we've given you the president of the GCCI. In terms of meetings with government officials, when will that start? Who would you like to meet first and why?
So I want to meet the Minister of Trade first.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll meet the Minister of Trade.
Babukar Ismaila Diouf.
Babukar Ismaila Diouf.
No, he doesn't call it
Usmaila.
Usmaila, yes.
Usmaila, yes. Babukar, he's my friend, he's my brother. We have worked on at the when he was at Teachers Union, Small Ruminant Project. I'll meet Babukar Gaipa, my friend Usainu Senghor.
Yeah.
Certainly my strong-headed Tilibonka man, syndicator.
Okay,
finance. Finance. We'll have to meet him. GRA, as I said, Foreign Ministry.
Yankuba Dabo, GRA,
Foreign and Minister. Of course, finally,
Sirin Mudunjai.
My Koto, the president himself. Baro.
I don't have a line to him. The others, I have a telephone line. I can just call and say, talk to Njundu.
I don't have a line to him, but he was my classmate.
Well, you can use that. Yeah. All right. Njundu, thank you so very much for coming.
Thank you, Peter.
And marketing will be chasing you since we've done free advertisement.
Thank you so much.
That's Njundu Fati, the new president of the Gambia Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Jar Oil. The company have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
Axel jam si wave.
Yo, Abla, yo, luta to dede. Luta mo nulo jel mo to nga andil mahalis. Hello?
Busel mo fine.
What?
Busel mo fine.
Oh, yes!
Wave the Gambia. Deposit and withdraw money, pay bills, and buy mobile credit without fees. Transfer money wherever in the country for only 1% fee. Ak Wave. Busol mu fine? Wave. Your money is yours.